My name is Vicente Vasquez, and I'm originally from Des Moines, Iowa. After school, I went to Chicago to do college. Lived in Chicago for a few years, and then now I'm currently a graphic designer employed at Birchbox. Wow. When I first started participating, it was in middle school. I was in a program called YMCA, which was a volunteer program and also kind of a support for our school. It was we did school dances and we did community outreaches, and it was kind of this whole round end of after school activity for us. So it's kind of an interesting thing. That kind of grew into later on. I joined a couple leadership programs that I got involved in. One was called the LIT program, Leaders in Training, and that was a really cool program for us. It was a program for us where we were selected from the different Ys across the Des Moines area, and then we got to go and use our leadership skills in different formats. So for example, I started volunteering at the summer camps, which is really cool. I got to work with youth. I got to, kind of do activities and things like that on a daily basis. My involvement grew into employment. So I became employed by the Y. I worked for the customer service front desk. I gave tours and got to kind of really promote the Y from a employment point of view. That also sprung into being employed at the summer day camps as a day camp counselor. So yeah, that's a little involvement that just kept going. When I became involved, I didn't really realize that I was volunteering or that I was doing things for my community as I was progressing. But it was nice. It was a good time, and I stayed involved because I liked what I was doing and I liked the people I was surrounded with. And many of the people who I worked with and who, friends that I was involved in these programs with, I'm friends with today as an adult. So it's kind of interesting moving away and you're still friends with all these people from the Y, and it's just been great. I think the Y impacted me the most in teaching me how to have a voice, how to be strong, how to say, I can help somebody, I can be there, and I can, be in my community and be a leader. And again, it's something that you don't really see as intentional. You don't go there saying, I'm going to be a leader, but it kind of taught me to work with people and how to, get involved and how to just kind of jump in there. I think that kind of later helped me on with my career. As a designer, I'm constantly being said, what can we do, and prompting of answers. So it was kind of a jumping in, kind of a leaping point that was really cool.
Hi, my name is Nicole Ellis. I'm 21 years old and I am an alumni member from Livewire's YMCA Day Camp, where I went for almost 8 years. I'm in Lima, Peru. I have spent the last 2 years on and off in Peru. My adventure here started in 2012 when I decided to study abroad as well as do a service abroad trip in Cusco, Peru. So I spent 2 months in the summer going to classes, learning Spanish, as well as working on sustainable health projects in rural communities around Cusco. After that, I have come back a couple more times, and after I graduate in May, I plan on coming to Peru to live. I am studying English education and Spanish at Iowa State University, and I think the root of my career choice also started with Livewire's Day Camp with the YMCA. I think the biggest thing for me is that during my time with Livewire's, we really talked about and tried to live through the pillars. So caring, respect, honesty, those are some of the big ones. Learning to be of service to others from a young age, as well as learning to live with good Y values, really helped me to decide to serve. I also remember the crucial adults in my life from my time at Livewire's, including some of the camp counselors who I can still name. Katrina, Dan, Renee, Kate. There are so many that really left a lasting impact on who I am because of their good character and how they treated me as a child.
name is Matt Rippentrop, and the YMCA has been a very important part of my life ever since I moved to Iowa in the 6th grade in 2004. When I first joined the Waukee Family YMCA in that year, we were still located in the old building next to Waukee High School. In that building, I built lasting relationships and learned invaluable lessons. From my time spent getting to know my fellow after-school students and staff of the Y, I grew more confident in myself as a person. It was to this end that I became more engaged and active with my time at the YMCA. I quickly joined the Waukee Rays in its first years, back when 4 lanes was more than enough room for all of us. From my afternoons spent meeting friends and swimming in the pool, I truly came into my own outside of the YMCA as well. I began lifeguarding the year I turned 16, and I am grateful the Y continued to impart lessons and experiences that have become invaluable to me today. Whether I was a staff member or after-school kid, a swimmer or volunteer, the YMCA and the people who comprised it so obviously cared about me as a person. It is hard to recognize, and just as hard to appreciate that, especially when you are younger and living in the midst of it day to day. I can confidently and honestly say now, though, looking back, I am and was one lucky kid. I would like to think one big way that I've been able to carry forward my YMCA experience into my present life is through my involvement with school over these past 4 years. In 2010, I graduated from Waukee High School and was accepted to attend the University of St. Thomas in St. Paul, Minnesota. One obvious impact that I had going forward was my participation with the varsity swim program at the university. I was fortunate enough to join a competitive, tight-knit group of athletes that truly cared about each other. I have so many memories and experiences to cherish from my time spent swimming at St. Thomas, and I know that those roots can be traced back to that original 4-lane pool all those years ago. If there was one lesson I could pass on to anyone involved with YMCA at any capacity, it would be to appreciate the fulfillment that your YMCA community gets from providing such a unique and positive environment for you and your family, and recognize that you have the capacity for that same kind of fulfillment by building safe and rich relationships with all those around you. Thank you.
I think that's the big thing, is that even as generations change and people say, well, this generation is different than the generation before, or this generation is worse than the generation before, I don't think that's true. I think that students, kids, are a product of their environment, and I think for me, growing up for 7 years in such a positive environment, going on trips together with counselors and role models, having the opportunity to look up to them and understand what they were doing in their own lives, as well as seeing them live out the character values, really helped me to then take that and really work hard to live out those values in my own life.
Your dollars are extending so much further than just saying, oh, let's do this one program, let's have one pizza party. I mean, it's getting that child to talk to another child, and it's getting that person to volunteer for this, and it's getting people to really help each other. And I mean, I guess that's the best sense of community.